Hey guys, it's JD, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how I feel after 2 weeks of quitting nicotine. So I'm 30 years old right now, and I've been smoking cigarettes or using dips since I was about 17. And recently I found a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, which was referred to me by another YouTuber slash streamer named Zaryu. And he's really into fitness, and so am I. So when he referred it, I said, I'm going to go check it out. So I checked it out. And now, since I've been reading that book, it's been 2 full weeks since I have not had a cigarette, or I have not had any dip or chewing tobacco, nothing. So I just want to talk about the differences that I've seen or felt in the last 2 weeks. And the first thing I want to talk about is I smell amazing. Like, none of my clothes have that lingering smoke smell on them. I know that goes without saying, but you really do notice a difference, and your friends and family can tell the difference immediately, that you do not smell like cigarettes, that you smell amazing. You smell like Tide and Bounty or whatever perfume or cologne that you guys are using. You smell like that all the time. It's awesome. So that's the first thing that I noticed right away. And the second thing that I noticed after just about 3 or 4 days is that I am hungry. I am hungry all of the time. I love to snack now, which is something I've never really done in the past, and I would have to say that it's probably due to the nicotine. And you eat a meal and then you go have a cigarette, or you go out for a while and then you can't really smoke, and then you have a cigarette because now you have the time. So all of those cravings for nicotine and cigarettes that I've filled those with snacking, and my food of choice right now is actually watermelon chunks and other fruits. I buy them at Walmart. They just come in like this big Tupperware thing, and I just eat those, as I see fit. And I never been really a snacker. And something that also happened in my life not too long ago, back in February, is I got sick with kidney stones, and that put me out for like 2 to 3 weeks. And all the while that was happening to me, I was still smoking cigarettes. And but what I've noticed that during my time when I had the kidney stones and I was sick is I wasn't eating a lot. And that was probably had in part to do with being sick, but also had to do with nicotine as well. So my appetite right now is stronger than it's ever been. And that's not saying that I'm eating things that are like junk food or anything like that. I do have chocolate, which it's probably not the best thing, but I'm pretty skinny in my own right, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But yeah, that's the second thing that I've been noticing. The third thing is that I have a lot more energy. I've been hitting the gym hard as hell like the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I don't have this sluggish feeling of like, maybe I'll go to the gym today, or maybe I'll go to the gym tomorrow. Like, I'm actually upset if I don't go to the gym. I want to go to the gym every single day. I actually haven't taken the day off in I think about 11 days, just because I want to go so bad. And the reason for that is because I feel so good when I go to the gym, and I feel that pump, and it just energizes me to a point where it makes me feel awesome as a person. I think the last day I took off was, like I said, 11 days ago, and that was simply because I went to the gym that day, and while I was doing my workout, I kind of like tweaked something in my back, and I didn't want to exhaust it further, so I went home. I had a good rest or whatever, and the next day I took the day off, but after that I've been at it ever since. So hitting the gym is not really a chore anymore, and I love to do it. And before, when I was smoking cigarettes, I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to leave my house or do whatever that would consist of activity or physical exertion. So having that feeling right now is amazing. One interesting piece of wisdom that the book shared, that I'll share with you guys, is that, picture this: one person asks 2 different people, or he offers them rather, a cigarette, and the first person says, no thank you, I'm trying to quit. And the second person says, no thank you, I'm not a smoker. So what's the difference here? The difference is that the first person that was offered a cigarette identifies as a smoker. They in the past have been a smoker. They've smoked cigarettes, or they've used tobacco or whatever, and the second person doesn't identify as a smoker. So think about what this means for you. and what you were identified as, growing up. Like as a kid, I played soccer. That was my life. Every single day I had practice. I played at a very high level, so I was very competitive, and I didn't have time to do things like smoke cigarettes or hurt my body in any, way, shape, or form. But after a while, I got exposed to cigarettes, and it became a part of my life. And then 13 years, go by, and I've been smoking consistently for that time, and that scares me. It's not like I've always been a smoker or I've always identified myself as someone who needs nicotine in their life, but that's what I want. That's the point I want to bring up to you guys, is that, there was a point in time where you did not identify as a smoker. There was a point in time where you didn't need cigarettes, and then you were exposed to it and it became a habit for you. So, I know a lot of people are wondering, do I still get cravings? What do I do when I get those cravings? And I'll talk about that. I call it fillers. So the first filler that I do when I have a cigarette craving is I go and take a walk and I call somebody I love. It's my parents most of the time, or some friends. And if those people don't pick up, sometimes I call somebody that I haven't really talked to in a while. And if they don't pick up, then that's fine. People are busy, they got things going on in their life. But the first thing I'm going to do always is take a walk. I take a walk, down the block. I take a walk for like 10 to 15 minutes. And, that stops me from going to the store and buying cigarettes and being weak and just letting go of, all the things that I've been working towards for the past 2 weeks. So that's the filler that I've been using to stop the craving of dip, like in my lip or whatever, because, that's like, I know that's like a phantom feeling or whatever, but it's there, man. And I've been using Halls cough drops, and I put it on my lip like as if it were a dip, and that kind of helps me because I'm at the computer a lot, so most of my routine would be sitting at the computer and then putting a dip in and just chilling there, and that would like make me happy, and I'd be chilling or whatever. So right now I just use the cough drops and I put it in my mouth and whatever, and that's how I deal with it. So I wanted to tell everybody out there that if you think that you can't stop smoking cigarettes, I promise you, you can. It really is a decision that you have to make. It's a mental thing. You have to be strong mentally. And I ran into a woman the other day. I was getting Taco Bell, and she was telling me how she really wanted a cigarette. And I was like, at that point I was like 10 days clean. And I was like, I'm 10 days clean right now, and I want you to know that I just went through this, and I want you to know that you can do it if you really want to. And she's like, I know, I really want to. And I looked her in the face, and I was like, you have to make a decision. You really have to. You have to make a decision about you and your life and what you want your life to look like and be like and what you want to experience forever. Do you want to identify as someone who's needy or has to have these things to keep them going? You don't need these things. You don't need nicotine to keep you going. It's in my experience, yes, it is a nice relief, but it's temporary, and it costs you a shit ton of money. Over the past 2 weeks, I think I've saved probably about at least $100. Because I used to do both. I used to have cigarettes and dip. So I would buy one pack at a time, which would last me 2 days, 2 or 3 days. And then I would always buy 2 cans of dip, always, because I knew that I didn't want to go to the store again so fast after I just bought them. So it would last me maybe like 3 to 4 days, and that's $14 plus $7. So I don't know, like let's say on average $20 every 2 days. So over the course of 2 weeks, that's even more than $100 if you're smoking and dipping as much as I am. Math is hard, but whatever. So before I go, I just want to tell everyone in this video that's watching that you can do it. It's not that difficult. It's really hard for the first 3 to 4 days. And you really get upset and you get angry and you want to break shit and you snap at people when they ask you the simplest of questions. But like I said, you have to find those fillers. You have to find those things to do in place of that. So I wish all of you the best of luck of quitting cigarettes. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. So best luck to you again. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys later.